I was working, I'm still the news editor of India's largest television channel in English, NewsX. I was at the back end trying to get people on the screen. And above me was my editor-in-chief, Mr. Jahangir Pocha. And whenever Modi came, on the screen, I knew how to get the TRP because people want to see Modi and we were trying to present a very different picture. The story which people were not interested in. I said, show Modi. This is what people want to see. So my editor-in-chief told, no, people are bored of Modi and all that. I said, no, I disagree with you. Finally said, okay, you do whatever you want. Within 6 months, we were on top of the TRP rating. We are still number one. This is what Modi has done. Not because he is Modi, because he created hope of those people who watched him. I also, while debating these things in the news organization, started thinking why there is so much of bias against Modi. What he's talking, if he's interacting with, say, the students of Ferguson College, he's talking sense, he's talking economics, he's talking about empowerment of people. What wrong he has done. And then suddenly I find that everybody in the newsroom is speaking against Modi. He is a murderer, he is a killer. And I said, how? Do you have any proof? So I was very blunt, I used to ask. They said, no, but people say it. I said, people say it. This is what media does. Media creates an image. And then media wants Modi to live in that image. But the fact remains that Modi has walked over that image. Long time back. But media was not ready to accept that image. And because of that, there are certain people in my profession who cannot digest this fact that Modi is one of the most acceptable figures in India today. And I am not saying this, you will have to read this and trust me. It is a book based on research. Not one sentence in this book has been said which is mine, which is by people completely authenticated. I had a team of 5 people who did meticulous research, very senior researchers, and they went through 50,000 hyperlinks, more than a dozen books, and we are thankful that Mr. Modi also gave liberal interviews to us. And not that, we had decided in the team that we'll go to Gujarat without informing Mr. Modi that we are coming, because we didn't want to become the state guest. We went in a car, we travelled about 5,000 kilometers to showcase what Modi has done and what impact it had on the people. And trust me, Nilanjan, when we went to a tribal home, without telling who we were, we found that the tribal home had a TV, a fridge, a very good bed, and the tribal home was not the tribal home you imagine. It was a well-pakka house in a village. This is what Modi has done. And when we found that how empowerment has come, because merely saying is not enough. Agriculture, I'll give you one example. It's not statistics. If I quote statistics, you all know what statistics is all about. You can always quote me in the reverse also to prove me wrong. I'm talking of those things which we have observed there. Agriculture has become very productive. We went to farmers and we found that farmers were very happy. They were not ready to sell their land. They were saying we want to have more land, but the problem is that we can't buy because the prices of land have gone up. So Gujarat presents a completely different picture. And now I'll come to the image. You see, my friend Kavita is here, who has been my friend for the last 20 years. She said, okay, fine, your book is fine. What about his communal image? I said, come on, yaar. You see, who is saying this? This is Mahesh Bhatt, one of the bitterest critics of Narendra Modi, who had actually said that I'm going to defeat Modi, and if Congress won 20-25 seats more, it was because of Mahesh Bhatt's campaign against Modi. This is what Mahesh Bhatt says. He says, we as civil society must acknowledge, applaud and reciprocate the gesture of Gujarat Chief Minister. And this is after Modi's expression of grief. And before that, he told me in the interview that, you see, we have to give him a chance. He is a person who holds promise. You see what Maulana Mahmood Madri says, Jamaat-e-Ulema Hind. He says that compared to other states, Muslims in Gujarat are much happier. When Sachar committee went to Gujarat, they interviewed Modi. They said that, what have you done for the minorities? And Modi said, I've done nothing. Then they were surprised. And I've quoted this in the book. And then Modi said, but you should ask me what I have done for Hindus. They said, what have you done for Hindus? He said, I have done nothing. I have done for 6 crore Gujaratis. If I make a road, Muslims as well as Hindus get the same benefit. Why do you want me to treat Muslim as Muslim, Hindus as Hindus? I am the Chief Minister, I am delivering. This is what one wants one leader to speak in this country. And believe me, if you meet Modi, if you interact with him, then you cannot remain his enemy. I have seen many people like Jafar Sareshwala. Who was Jafar Sareshwala? Jafar Sareshwala was the person who was planning to drag him to International Court of Justice in London. And a chance meeting with Modi in 2003, and Jafar Sareshwala becomes his ardent supporter and advocate. And now he is a friend of Modi. He is undeclared spokesperson. He is not in the BJP, but if you talk to him, he talks about Muslim interests. What do Muslims want today? We have to think about Godhra. You have to talk about the judgment. If you don't want to trust the judgment of the court, if you don't want to trust what SIC has said, if you don't want to trust what Nanavati Commission says, which has examined more than 1,000 witnesses, and you want to trust some people who have gone and done private inquiry, I'm sorry, this is not the country can be governed. Let a court indict him. Then you decide whether he has done the right thing or not. At least when the court has exonerated him, we have to accept that as fact. And then, walking away from Godhra, you see 31% of Muslims, they have voted for Modi. In Assembly elections 2012, in municipal elections, 100 Muslim candidates won. And there were some constituencies that has as high as 60% of Muslim votes. If they are not happy with Modi, they could have easily voted for any Congress candidate. Don't tell me that Modi is a terror. Nobody agrees. He has the critics, and even when people go and campaign, they get enough number of people to listen to them. It's not that there is dictatorship in Gujarat. Ask any Gujarati who is here, you can speak against Modi, nobody is bothered about. But why these Muslims voted for Modi? I am saying Modi because they did not vote for BJP. They said we want to vote for this man because he speaks the truth. He speaks it boldly. And people are here on court to accept. They told me that he is one man with whom we can do business. And this is what Mr. Salim Khan, who is one of the Salim Javed duo partner, film script writer. He is more popular as father of Salman Khan. What he says? He says, do we even remember any other chief minister since independence under whose regime riots took place? Why are they not talking of the Muzaffarnagar riots that happened in 2013? He is saying that because Modi is winning all the time, these people are not able to digest. And this is the hope. This is not, don't think that, this is, I'm 100% sure that once you read this book, you will come to know many more facts that will cut, because facts cut through fiction. Goebbels said that, you tell a lie big enough so that the lie will appear to be truth. But he also said that keep facts away. And after 10 years, facts have started coming and reasserting. And it has started asserting in such a way that all the lies will be cut through. And trust me, this is going to happen. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Sudesh, I am happy that we have a completely unbiased account of Mr. Narendra Modi. I think there's no question about it. I am deeply grateful for him because it seems to be a very transparent account. But of course, the fact of the matter is, you are entitled as a biographer to have views of your own. There's no question about it. I respect him, Nilanjan, very much. I respect him very much because they are entitled to their own views. Because quite frankly, when you analyze a personality who is looming as large as Mr. Modi is in the country's politics, it's like all of us actually, the old story about the elephant and the people who are trying to describe him. Each of us is trying to describe something totally different. And hopefully the two together will then come into a more accurate picture. So I just like to say that, Sudesh has clearly got a very, very strong point of view. That's a point of view shared by a lot of people. He's got a much more, if I may say so, what is called a more balanced view on the situation. But